Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. We'll be right back to the show. But before we do, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, factormeals.com, where if you go to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50, you can get 50% off your first order. That's factormeals.com/unbroken50. If you're like me and you are a person who is busy trying to create a life, heal, work on their health, wealth, and relationships, and not to mention deal with the day-to-days of normal life, you do not have time to be going to the grocery store and trying to figure out what you're going to cook every single day of the week. In fact, one time I did the math and I realized I was spending over 15 hours a week at the grocery store and cooking. When I added Factor, I got to use that time for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my community, and for my business. And so if you're in the place where you need some more support in the kitchen, head to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50 to get 50% off.
Introducing Allbirds' new Wool Runner 2, redesigned to redefine comfort. Extra cushioning offers a plush ride, and premium materials deliver a cozy fit. Go to allbirds.com and use code FRESH24 for a free pair of socks with purchase today.
Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. What's up, my friends? I hope that you're doing well. Getting into this morning, getting into this conversation, getting into this day with you, one of the things that I was thinking about today is this idea that so many people feel like they're alone. I got an email yesterday from someone and they were like, I cannot believe you responded to me. So first and foremost, let me tell you this. If you email me, michael@thinkunbroken.com, I will literally respond to you. And so the reason why I'm thinking about this is we often believe and feel like we are alone. Like somehow, some way, it's just us. It's just us against the world. And I've thought that way before. I've had that thought process before. I know many of you listening to this have had that thought process before. But the truth is that you're not alone. You're just not. Like at the end of the day, no matter what, you are a part of something. You are part of a community, whether it's a community that you build or the community that you're put into from your past, your background, from whatever it is that you come from. Now, one of the things that I always try to teach my clients when we go into coaching, which I'm going to teach you guys right now, is you have to think about the 3 C's: community, connection, commitment. Now, community is one that when I think about the healing journey, when I think about coming into this process of learning, of growing, of changing, of transforming, of ultimately becoming unbroken, community is, to you, if you understand what I'm about to say, going to be one of the cornerstones for everything that's next. That's why we created Think Unbroken Academy. It's a free community. If you go to thinkunbrokenacademy.com, you can join it. That's why we have UnbrokenCon coming up. If you go to unbrokencon.com, you can join it. That's why we have the Think Unbroken podcast. And if you go to thinkunbrokenpodcast.com, you can join us, right? And the reason why is because community is everything. When I started this, I realized about 12 years ago, one of the things that I needed was to have a place to be a part of something. And most importantly, be a part of something that wasn't what I knew. Because we only get to where we are based on what we know. And if you are only at where you are today because of what you know, but you want to go somewhere further, then you have to know more things. Like that's a simplified version of it, right? I'm always thinking about reverse engineering the goal. I'm like, okay, if I want to heal trauma and be a part of a community, have people I can leverage and lean on, learn from experts, and be able to come into a safe space, then what does that look like? And so I reverse engineer that and I go, okay, step 1, find that. Does it exist? Okay, no, it doesn't. So when I actually started and I created Think Unbroken, it didn't exist. Like what I envisioned the world of healing trauma to look like wasn't there. And so I said to myself, I'm going to go and build it. Now, initially in building it, it was like, I have to go and join group therapy, right? Men's group therapy, Gestalt therapy, childhood trauma-informed therapy, EMDR, CBT, all of the things, right? And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to learn. And then I'm going to go and join other support groups because I want to learn.
Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? Just want to take a moment and invite you to be my guest at Think Unbroken Conference this November. That's right. Think Unbroken is hosting our Unbroken Con for free. It's 5 days of trauma transformation information with myself, special guests, and even some of the leading experts in trauma education from around the world. For 5 days, we're going to jump into what it means to actually take the steps to be unbroken. All you have to do is register for free at unbrokencon.com. That's unbrokencon.com. That's right. 5 days of trauma transformation information with me, special guests, and some of the world's leading trauma trained experts for free for 5 days this November. More details to come. But in the meantime, go to unbrokencon.com to register. And I'll see you there.
And at that point, it was just me learning. And then I thought to myself, I'm going to take all these concepts and ideas that I've learned, and I'm going to start to integrate them into what at that point was not Think Unbroken, but just an idea. And as I got deeper into building Think Unbroken, I said, okay, wait a second. How do I take that idea and I elaborated on it more, I built it more, and I created it into something bigger. Okay, well, what do I need to do? I need to create a place where people can come together. Now, if you rewind 5, almost 6 years ago now, it was in-person stuff. So I spoke in Bali, in Singapore, in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, in London, in New York, in LA, in Portland, in Seattle, in Denver. Like I spoke everywhere, right? And then as it evolved, it was like, wait a second, we need a place where people can access this stuff all the time. That's where Think Unbroken podcasts come together. And I was like, okay, cool. If I go in and make a podcast and I put out content every single day for a year, maybe this will help people. Well, now we've been so lucky and fortunate to have a show that's been top 10 in the world multiple times. I mean, I've had Tom Bilyeu, Lisa Bilyeu, John Lee Dumas, Anthony Trucks, Dr. Caroline Leaf, Judd Brewer, Jenna Kutcher, Amy Porterfield. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And I was like, okay, cool. So now how do I give that information to the audience and allow them to learn from people who've already done the thing they're trying to do? Well, we'll put out the podcast. We'll tell people about it. And also, please, if you have not, review the podcast. If you go to thinkunbrokenpodcast.com, if you review it on iTunes, it would mean the world to me. Please, because you get to play a role in helping people by reviewing that show. And so what happens is effectively, I'll give you the brief of it. When you leave a review, it bumps up the show in the rankings of the algorithm. So it shows up in the listing so that other people who have survived trauma, who have learned in the way that you have learned or need to learn in the way that you are learning through the show, can access that information. And also it's my birthday, so do it anyway. So just go to thinkunbrokenpodcast.com, leave a review. Seriously, it actually helps people. It helps. You could be the reason why somebody's life gets different. Okay, so now I'm building the podcast. I'm building this thing. And I thought to myself, well, what do we need now? We need more community. We need more accessibility. We need more of what I had when I was going and sitting in physical rooms. But how do I do it at scale? Because ultimately the mission is to end generational trauma in my lifetime through education. So how do we do that in a way that touches people around the world? Well, we create Think Unbroken Academy. It's a free platform. People come in. We've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds almost, of people who are in that community, who are showing up every day, who are a part of it, who are sharing their victories, their struggles, who are sharing what it's like to be able to grow, to change, to heal, to transform, to become unbroken. Okay, cool. Now, how do we go to another level? How do I bring in my friends who are these incredible experts at what they do to talk to this community? Okay, cool. We're going to create Unbroken Conference. Now, so we start building that. We create Think Unbroken Conference. It's unbrokencon.com if you want to register. It's December. So show up. It's absolutely free to watch and attend live. There's a VIP to keep the recordings and all that stuff. So it's all built in there. Now, here's what starts to happen. You start to look at the amalgamation of all these things and you realize if the community, this is where I'm going. I want you to pay attention. If the community that I want doesn't exist, I will build it. You have to understand this. I know this is a very long diatribe to the point, but I want you to understand this. You're not alone, but nobody is going to come and knock on your door and be like, hey, by the way, we have this community. Now you can go and seek it. Now, very often you can find it, but sometimes you can't. And that was my scenario. So if I rewind 12 years ago, nobody was talking about this. Nobody was talking about child abuse. Nobody was talking about people overcoming it as adults, living their life, becoming the hero of their own story. And so I effectively said, I am going to build the community that I want to build because the community that I want doesn't actually exist. No one came to knock on my door and say, create Think Unbroken. No one came and knocked on my door, said, coach people. No one came and knocked on my door, even at the beginning, and said, hey, you should probably do something about your fucking crazy life, dude, and get into healing, get into education, get into learning. And so if you're in this position in your life right now, and I know this is, you hear this, and I've coached people through this, and they go, yeah, well, I don't get it. How do I find people? It's called the internet. Guys, it's called Google. Use it. Join Think Unbroken Academy, join Unbroken Con, listen to the Think Unbroken podcast, become a part of this, because the thing that will start to happen is you will find either A, you will get the exact community and thing that you were seeking, or B, if you're like me, you may get inspired to go and create your own thing, which I fully and entirely encourage and I will support and wholeheartedly.
Hey, Unbroken Nation, we'll be right back to the show, but I wanted to let you know that you can grab a copy of my first book, Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma, for free. If you go to book.thinkunbroken.com, you can download the PDF ebook version of the book and get everything that I know about the baseline of healing trauma for free, downloaded to your email right now. Just go to book.thinkunbroken.com to download your copy of Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma for a PDF for your phone. Again, that is book.thinkunbroken.com.
So that's kind of the way that this works. There is a very simple mechanism for creating the life that you want to have. And it simply starts with reverse engineering the goal. What do you want? Get massive clarity about it. Can you find it without having to build it? Yes, then go and join that and be a part of it. Can you not? No. Okay, cool. Go and build it and create it and make it what you want it to be. But you can't keep sitting here saying that you're alone. You can't keep sitting here and saying nobody gets it. You can't keep sitting here
and being like, I'm struggling by myself in this dark corner. That's not true. It's just not true. Like at the end of the day, and I know people don't like to hear it, and I know someone's going to message me and be like, hey, but you don't get my struggle. It's like, yo, I get it. I get it. I was homeless as a kid. I was a drug addict at 12 years old. My mom kept my finger off. My parents beat the shit out of me. I had fucking all the learning disabilities that you can imagine. I struggled with massive debt and weight issues and drug abuse issues and all of the things that you can imagine. So I get it. And the only thing I'm trying to tell you here is that I'm just trying to help you understand how I did it. It may not work for you, and that's okay. But at least if you can take some of this and apply it in your life, even in the most simplest frame of recognizing and understanding that you're not by yourself, that gives you a huge one-up in the ability to continue to move forward in your life in a way that is not only practical, but is life-affirming. Because to sit here and to be like, I'm by myself and I'm alone, you have to take some responsibility for that and understand that you are not putting yourself into a position to have community, to not be alone, to find the thing. Like if I were alone, I'll tell you right now, if I were by myself, completely miserable, back where I was 12 years ago, I would do the same thing that I did. I would go and find a therapist. I would go and find a coach. I would go and volunteer. I would go and be of service. I would go to meetups. I would go to AA. I would go to support groups. I would go and do all the things to be around other people so that I didn't have to be alone. But you have to be willing to do that. You have to be willing to face the fact that you feel shame and guilt, that you feel like you're not supposed to do this, that you feel hurt. Because guess what? When you acknowledge those feelings, you can work through them. You cannot just always be complaining. You cannot always just be like, my life fucking sucks. Because I'm telling you, when I was like that and my life did suck, I acted like it. I existed like it. My life was a reflection of the narrative going through my head. And so the greatest thing that I can offer you, if I can give you anything today, is to change the narrative that you have about being alone and about suffering through these things without support, and put yourself in a position to go and find it, right? Think Unbroken Academy, Think Unbroken Conference, Think Unbroken Podcast, the courses, the things we've put together give you the ability to be a part of something. And if not there, then go and find it somewhere else. And if you can't find it somewhere else, build it and create it. But you cannot sit here in your life and go, I am alone, woe is me, because that is the ultimate fixed mindset. That is where you are going to stay stuck. Most people stay stuck in that space because they're terrified of the idea that they're allowed to be a part of something. And you got to let that go, my friend, because I believe that we all deserve to be a part of community. I believe that we all deserve to be a part of something bigger than us, that we all deserve to be a part of something that is fulfilling for us. And no one can take that from you except you. You have to remember, you're not alone, but nobody's coming to knock on your door. Do me a favor. If you appreciated this, if this brought value to your life in any way, leaving a review on iTunes or Spotify helps other people find this information. And so if there's, out of the 500 episodes we put out into the world, if you've ever one time got value of it, please go and leave a review. Also, like I said, my birthday is Friday, and it would mean the world to me as a gift if you leave a review for the show. Just go to iTunes or Spotify, search Think Unbroken Podcast, hit the 5-star. If you think it sucks, hit the 1-star. That's fine too. I just want to know the truth. But ultimately, it's about being of service for each other, for the community. If you're not in Think Unbroken Academy, there's like 500 people who are in there. It's absolutely amazing. Come and join us. Come and be a part of it. You're not alone. You don't have to go through this by yourself, but I ain't coming to knock on your door. You got to come and join. You got to come and be a part of this. All right, my friends, have an amazing day and be unbroken. I'll see you.
We'll be right back to the show, my friend, but I wanted to let you know about our brand new podcast community for Think Unbroken Podcast. I know that for so many trauma survivors like myself, for the longest time, I felt alone, like nobody got it, nobody understood, and that I was just going to have to figure this out on my own. But that's not true. And the reason why we created our brand new Think Unbroken Academy podcast community is so that we can bring all the members of the Unbroken Nation together in a place where we can learn, grow, heal, change, and transform our trauma into triumph. I would love to have you come and be a part of the brand new community. Just check out thinkunbrokenacademy.com or click the link in the podcast description. And I cannot wait to see you there, my friend. Again, just head over to thinkunbrokenacademy.com. And until then, be unbroken. Thank you so much for listening to Think Unbroken. Please share this episode with someone who could use it and help us move forward in our mission of ending generational trauma in our lifetime. And if you would, please take 5 seconds to pop on iTunes or Spotify, hit that 5-star, leave a review, and you can also reach out to us on social at Michael Unbroken or at Think Unbroken. And of course, you can check out our YouTube channel at Think Unbroken. Thank you for being a part of Unbroken Nation, my friends, and until next time, be unbroken.
Just when you thought the world's most comfortable shoe couldn't get any more comfortable, well, it did. Introducing the Allbirds Wool Runner 2, the next-gen version of the legendary shoe that started it all. It's been refined, redesigned, and completely redefined with more than a dozen upgrades. It delivers comfy all-day wear that's built for bliss, turning your Cloud 9 into a 10. Plus, they're made with sustainability in mind, so you can feel good with each step you take. Added cushioning that delivers a plush ride? Check. An ultra-cozy merino wool upper for a soft fit and feel? Check. Improved durability that offers lasting wear and comfort? Check, check, and check. Lace up a pair and check off next-level comfort, too. Because when your feet are happy, the rest of you follows. Wherever you're headed, it's easy to keep up the pace when you wear Allbirds. Get yours at allbirds.com and use code FRESH24 to score a free pair of socks with purchase today. That's a free pair of socks with purchase at allbirds.com, code FRESH24.
Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of live coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the waitlist if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program.